Hey everyone, it's Jeff Mumm, the creator of Guinea Pig Parkour, and I just thought I would create another little life update video and catch you up on what's been going on and check back in and tell you what I've got planned for the future. It's been about 6 months since my last one, and a lot has happened in that time, and I thought it was about time to give you an update, tell you what's been going on. So in my last update, I was talking about my plans to create an art shop and to hopefully get back into development, be more frequent with updates. And for the most part, I was able to do some of that, not as much as I wanted to, but I definitely was able to launch the art shop. And it was a really cool opening, and people were really supportive. And I appreciate everyone who came into the art shop and even just looked. And to the people who bought something, I especially appreciate you guys. And you were able to help me get through this period of my life and fund some game development along the way. Now, the thing with the art shop is it was able to bring in some supplemental income, but it definitely didn't cover my bills. So part of the last update, I was talking about looking for a part-time job, and I was able to get a job at Starbucks, which is kind of funny, given what the game is about. I thought that was kind of a fun thing to dive into, and it was a really cool experience. A lot of unexpected stuff came out of that, just as far as perspective. And I haven't worked a job like that in probably over 15 years. I used to work at hotels in my early 20s, but then I worked at data entry jobs, first on location and then remote. And so even the on location job was not very social, but then especially the remote job was the same as me working on the game. It's all done wherever I am. And so you combine the remote data entry and me working on my game since 2015, and that's over 7 years that I had spent pretty isolated, especially because I had moved away from my friend group, and it was basically just family and I down in Southern California. And so I'm not very good at putting myself out there or making friends with people. And so all my friendships have been kind of lifelong childhood friends, high school friends, that kind of thing. And moving to a new area really made it difficult for me to figure out how to meet people, especially this time in my life where I don't even go into work. I just work at my house on my day job and my own project. So I became pretty reclusive and pretty isolated. And the only real socialization I would do is sort of go to meetup groups or kind of game dev groups. And then I would do online dating. And I did get into a relationship, and that was kind of my way of socializing, was being in a relationship. But it's still pretty isolated to just have one point of contact. And it's definitely a lot better than just being completely isolated. But I hadn't really been around a lot of people for a long time. And so it was an interesting experience going to Starbucks because suddenly I was around a lot of people every day, especially when I took on the cashier position, and I'm interacting with dozens or hundreds of people every day. But beyond that, just getting to know coworkers and kind of letting my guard down and being able to interact with people on a real one-to-one level after so long of sort of just being laser focused on making a project. It was really eye-opening, and it really gave me a lot of perspective and kind of grounded me in a big way. And so I'm really appreciative of that experience. It was not exactly what I expected, but it was definitely what I needed, just psychologically, especially because that relationship had ended in the past summer, and I got into that a little bit last video. So having a place to kind of come and be around people and be normal was a huge deal. The first month or two was a little bit rough just because I wasn't used to standing for 8 hours or doing physical work. And so I was pretty exhausted at the end of every day. And it was a challenge to get any work done on my game. I did probably average about 10 to 20 hours even during that period. But, since 2015, I've really been working 30 to 50 hours on the game every week. And so it was kind of discouraging at first. But within a couple months, I started getting a routine going. I started adjusting. My body was adjusting. And I was able to start incorporating more and more time to work on the game. and I kind of got into a good groove with everything. I worked at Starbucks for about 4.5 months, and it was a really great experience. Covered my bills, and I was able to get work done. So anyway, this year has definitely been like a year of exploring new things and different sides of me. And even starting the art shop was a huge departure, because I had basically been working entirely on one project for 7 years. And just even being able to put anything else out into the world was exciting to me. And the response was exciting to me. And so really the last few months, I've been trying to figure out what I want to do going forward, because obviously my number one priority is finishing the game. But I think what I've learned is that it's a little bit too narrow to be putting 100% of my time into one project that I know is going to take years to complete. It's pretty unnerving, especially because what I'm doing it's insanely ambitious as far as how much work it requires to get, basically like it averages about, 8 to 10 hours to make 1 second of animation. And I want the game to be an amazing experience, and not just a sequence of animations. And so it requires an incredible amount of time and energy to create even the demo I'm working on right now. And so I still want to put in as much time as I possibly can into developing the game so I can get it done as soon as I can. But I'm starting to want to carve out a little time for other things that are related, but give me an opportunity to kind of push outside of this very narrow thing that I've been doing for almost a decade. And so the first thing I started working on a couple months ago was something that I think is going to be pretty cool, which is a sort of like a lo-fi animation that is going to incorporate a background that you can put on like lo-fi music, but also it's going to have my work process streaming live with it. And I have like a full animation and a full background that I have been developing for the past month or two. And I think that's going to be really cool when I can launch that, because I'll be able to live stream almost every day and show the work that I'm doing as I'm doing it, and not have to wait until there's these very finished pieces before I can share anything. On top of that, I invested in a professional printer and a Cricut machine, and so I'm going to be able to start making a lot more designs for the art shop and start expanding that beyond this small offering. Because up until now, I've been outsourcing the sticker production to these manufacturers that require you to make a print run of 50 to 100 stickers, which is quite an investment. But now I can literally just design anything I want and do a print, and it allows for a lot more experimentation, obviously, if you can just make something and then print one copy of it. So I'm really looking forward to being able to just like let my imagination run wild and create lots of cool, fun designs and see what people like and start expanding the art shop. And then videos like this, I think it would be fun to do more behind the scenes videos and kind of show the making of process and put myself out there a little bit more. I think up until this point, I've been super, isolated and just sort of shy about, showing my face or making videos or anything. And something that working at Starbucks did was it kind of pulled me out of my shell and helped me see that, there's more to me than just the output. There's a human being here, and it would be nice for me to be able to connect with you guys on a more personal level as well as showing you updates and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited about what's coming up, and I'm definitely going to try to start updating multiple times a week and more behind the scenes content. I'll do a studio tour. I can show you this room that I've set up. I think it's pretty cool. You can see I've got some new lights and things, because I'm really trying to invest in myself and invest in more potential than just the game. But obviously the game is still number one and it's still my priority, but I think I can do some cool things surrounding it. So yeah, thanks for watching this update, and I look forward to sharing much more with you in the future and getting more frequent updates going again. So yeah, let me know what you think about everything, and until next time, see you then.